We have another mail call, something off of Yahoo Auctions. So let's take a look. This one is interesting. There it is. Is anything else? Papers? Shop at their store? Nope. So what we have here, it's from 2007. It's a New Zealand silver-proof coin, $1, Mount Aoraki, or Mount Cook as it's also known. From my understanding, it was also supposed to commemorate Japanese-New Zealand friendship. They made about 70,000 of these, but 30,000 of them were sold in Japan. It might have even been made by the Japan Mint, now that I think about it, because New Zealand doesn't have a government mint. They have a private mint called the New Zealand Mint. Yeah, New Zealand Post, Reserve Bank of New Zealand. Yeah. Interesting. So this mountain, Mount Aoraki or Mount Cook, Aoraki being the Aboriginal word for it, Cook being the English word for it. It wasn't actually discovered by Captain Cook. It was actually discovered by a different crew and named in honor of Captain Cook. And then sometime in the 90s, I want to say, New Zealand basically did this program where a lot of places they hyphenated the name with the English name and the Aboriginal name, the Maori people. All right, so here's the coin. It actually comes in a really nice box. I'm guessing this one was meant for the Japanese market because it's got Japanese on it. Aoraki, Mount Cook, shrouded in mystery. Aoraki, Mount Cook is one of New Zealand's best-known natural icons. Standing at 3,754 meters tall, it is the tallest mountain in New Zealand. Situated in the central South Island with the Aoraki Mount Cook National Park. Aoraki forms part of the Southern Alps. To Katuwanu, Aoraki Mount Cook represents the most sacred ancestors. It was Aoraki who led the fateful voyage that resulted in the creation of Te Whampoa, the South Island. I really hope I'm pronouncing these right. Formed out of the wreckage of his canoe, and that left Aoraki and his brothers embodied as the highest mountains of the land. I kind of remember reading about this. Their canoe collapsed, they climbed on top of their canoe, and the wind was so cold they turned into stone. For this reason, many Maori feel that it is inappropriate to climb what is in effect the head of an ancestor. In spite of this, conquering Mount Aoraki, Mount Cook remains a popular attraction for many visitors to New Zealand. Yeah, I'd agree, it looks like a fun thing to climb. The mountain was given its European name in 1851 by Captain J.L. Stokes in honor of the English navigator Captain James Cook, who was the first person to circumnavigate the islands of New Zealand. The dual place name of Aoraki Mount Cook was made official in 1998. Oh, so I did remember correctly, it was the 90s. In recognition of the ancestral connection and significance of this mountain. Aoraki Mount Cook National Park is abundant with a variety of alpine plants, including the spectacular Mount Cook Lilly. It's got its own lily. With masses of white flowers and large glossy leaves, this plant is in fact a large buttercup and native to New Zealand. So that must be this thing. Here's our information here. 1 New Zealand dollar, 99.9, proof. We got the Queen. Worldwide Mint just said, oh, so Japan Mint did make it. That's what I suspected. That's not uncommon for countries that they don't have their own mints. A lot of times they'll license out their own country. A lot of islands do this. And these other small islands in the Pacific, and I guess New Zealand too, which I guess would count as a big island in the Pacific. Oh, and the same in Japanese. Neat. So it's actually a product of Japan Mint. That makes sense. All right, let's take a look. Nice books. Ooh, I like it. It's very, very pretty. I guess probably New Zealand Post. Probably in New Zealand, the post office acts a bit like a bank, like they do here in Japan or in Taiwan. Actually, I think that's true in a lot of countries. That's pretty cool. It's a colorless coin. Yeah. There's Grandma. Always good to see Grandma. So this coin is from 2007. They made 70,000 of them. I guess 30,000 were sold in Japan, 1,500 in New Zealand, which is, when you think about it, that's actually a pretty small number were actually available in New Zealand. I think New Zealand did some other cooperations with other countries' mints for something similar. I feel like this was taken out of the capsule at some point now that I'm looking at it. I mean, be honest, I paid 3,320 yen, so 27.8 US dollars, so that's pretty cheap for an ounce of silver. But or is that like a mark on here? I don't know, it looks slightly tarnished. Oh, that's my fingerprint. Nah. Alright. Yeah. It's pretty nice looking. Comes in a nice box. I don't know much about this. There's probably maybe a collection. It's interesting that they chose this. I don't know if Japan Mint did any other cooperations with other countries like this. I hadn't heard of that. I hadn't heard of this until I actually saw it on Yahoo Auctions. I hadn't heard anything about that. Yeah. Well, I paid a lot less than the original price. The original price was 6,500. But I've noticed this with a few things where they just, for some reason, the collectible coins just don't keep that initial value. A lot of the prefecture coins that I picked up, I bought for a lot less than they originally sold as. Pretty cool. So there's another pretty ounce of silver to add to the stack. Yeah. The queen looks pretty good in this one. Hi, Grandma. All right, back into the box. All right. Nope, nothing hidden down there. You never know what people stuff in these. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of neat. It's the tallest mountain in New Zealand. It's got its own coin. I actually never heard of this in mountain either, because, you know, New Zealand's a place like, oh, that'd be cool to go climb some mountains. I didn't know this was the tallest mountain there. It looks like it would actually be very fun to climb. All right, so another interesting addition to my collection. So, if you've reached this far, I would appreciate it if you gave me a like. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe. Go down to the comments. Tell me what you think about the coin's design, about their choice of subject. Maybe if you're from New Zealand, tell me a little bit more about this mountain and the myth, because I only know the bare basics. Anyways, I will see you in the next one.